Welcome to Break Into Tech Show with Professor Temitope Akinwumi of MyITUniversity, a multi-award-winning tech CEO, career coach, and mentor. With decades of hands-on tech career, will ensure your career dreams come true. Join our extraordinary show today on groundbreaking topic for a successful career. Do you want a $100,000 job as a cybersecurity professional, Scrum Master, Business Analyst Software QA, Cloud Architect, Data Analyst, Technical Recruiter, and more? Visit www.myituniversity.com to schedule a call. Come and get inspired to secure a lucrative job, keep the job, and grow on the job. Relax, receive, and see results. We're glad you're here. Share, like, and comment.
Hi, everybody. I hope you're all doing well today. Thank you so very much for joining me today. This is Professor Temi on your show, Breaking Into Tech. And I'm so quite excited today to share with you our great topic we're going to be discussing on our series, Arc Your Career. And I'll be interviewing our tech mentors. You're going to have a wonderful, wonderful discussion today. Make sure you have your notepad and pen ready so that you can learn a lot. A quick introduction of who I am. Many of you might have met me here, but if you are new to this platform, welcome. My name is Professor Temi Akinwumi, and I've been in tech for 3 decades. I love to give back and to empower the community, pretty much guiding us into, the awareness that tech doesn't have to be about coding or scripting. It doesn't have to be for rocket scientists. No, you can break into cybersecurity. You can break into GRC. It doesn't have any coding, any scripting, nothing. It's more of process and paperwork. And I want to show you the faces of cybersecurity right here at MyITUniversity. People that have been mentored by us and now they are super mentors, doing great things in IT, in cybersecurity, and you get to hear from them and see yourself in them, that if they can do it, if they can become executive, if they can be part of the Tech Billionaires Club, then you can do it too. So that's why I'm bringing executives, people that are in tech now, and so you can hear from them and see what you can also do to break into tech. You don't need to have any degree or anything related to tech to break in. You can start from scratch. So we're gonna meet my guest today, and she's gonna introduce herself, and then we're gonna have fun. Welcome. Can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you so much for having me today, Professor Temi. My name is Ronnie Izon. I am an information security leader with a couple of experience. I am certified in risk information systems, also certified as the first one is risk, the second one is CISM, certified information security manager. I have been in the industry, as I said, for a couple of decades. I have had the opportunity to work in various aspects of IT, but the one that I love the most, that I operate in right now, is cybersecurity. Happy to be here.
Welcome so much. We thank you for being here, Miss Ronnie, like I always call you. My question to you is, what inspired you to pursue a career in cybersecurity, and what do you love about it?
What inspired me? I think for me, it was an opportunity that actually fell in my lap, or maybe I fell. I worked for a nice union company, and I started just. But one of the things that I was known for is asking questions and raising my hands. What can I do? Oh, I can do that, or look into it. So I started in applications training. Along the way, we had one of the top 5 auditing companies. You can Google any of the names, they've come through the companies. They came for an audit. One of the audits was a SOC audit. The other one was, I believe, ITGC, IT General Controls. And as usual, I raised my hand. What can I do? How can I help? I helped to provide evidence to the auditing team. And at the end of the audit, they usually come back with findings. One of the findings for the SOC audit came back with 13 deficiencies, not anything at all about cybersecurity or security, not knowing anything. It was asked for a copy of the findings. I reviewed it. I looked at the evidence that we provided, and I started asking questions. And the questions that I was asking actually led to the auditing, almost unheard of, to review their findings. They cut from 13 deficiencies. They cut it down to 7 at first. And what I did was really just read. This was the inquiry request for evidence. This was the evidence provided. It met the letter of the inquiry. But the cutoff, the first 5 to 7 or so, the remaining, we said new evidence. At the end of the day, those 13 deficiencies was cut down to just one deficiency. My boss begged me to take the job. So falling into it was just reading and asking.
Okay. So looking at what you said, Miss Ronnie, um, what are the skills now that helped you broken? Because many of the people think, oh, I don't have the skills, I don't know what to do, I don't have any IT background, I can't do IT. Literally, you don't have any background in cybersecurity and you were able to break into cybersecurity. Some transferable skill helped you to start getting into that mindset. What is that soft skill? And when I say soft skills, I mean those skills that are just part of. So can you mention like 3 of them that helped you breaking?
I think the first thing is being curious. Just be curious. Whatever it is you're up against, you may not have the answer, but are you curious enough? If you're one of those people that's expecting the answers to come to you, and please forgive Professor Temi for what I'm about to say. If you expect somebody to drop the answer in your lap, maybe you don't belong in the industry. But if you're one of people that sees a problem, whether you know the answer or not, are you curious enough? Can you do your own research? Do you have a team behind you? Do you have like an MyITUniversity behind you? Do you have your list of resources that you can reach back to? Ask questions. This is what I'm working on. This is what I'm looking at. So the first thing is business. The second thing is networking. Like I said, it's not coming to you. There's performance on your side. Are those available? Yes. If you're hooked into my IT university. Are the courses available? Absolutely. I am on a few of the groups IT University has out there. I've seen people post questions and other people responding. Are you curious? Can you network? Network enough to ask questions. Number two, and number three, can you do it afraid? Like I said, it will not drop in your lap. But is the answer out there? Yes, absolutely. Can you the answer? 1,000%, undoubtedly. Would you be scared? All of us are at the beginning. You will not be an exception and you will not be last. So with those three out of the way, what you expect?
Exactly. Thank you so much for that. And actually, I know we can easily take 10 soft skills from your skills that help you break in. You're always like to, know, ready to learn and a problem solver. You listen effectively, communication. You were able to listen to the to the auditors and see exactly what they're asking. That's when you're able to think out of the box. Like, I
Yes.
think this is not
Yes.
right. So for some people know how to really have to solve problems, love to solve problems, love to listen effectively. It's a difference between listening and listening effectively. Effective listening so that you can communicate. If you
Absolutely.
cannot listen effectively, you cannot communicate.
Correct.
Communication is two-way. You listen and you say
Correct.
something. And I think as those things in you that helped you to start breaking in, even before you get started, you already hit the ground running because you have those skills. With soft skill, you're already some percentage close to breaking in. Very good. Thank you so much for that. Another thing that I want us to talk about is how do you think cybersecurity is contributing to the society these days, and what impact do professionals like you, what impact are you making in the field?
What do I think cybersecurity contributes to society? I'd like to think, and I'm sure several people will agree with me, that we actually, the cybersecurity professionals, we're the ones that are actually securing the country right now. We're the ones that are securing society. It is not in the past, it used to be people that could carry guns.
Mm,
It used to be people that could code. It is no longer that. In the real world, the battle for leadership, the battle for being number one in the world, is no longer on the battlefield. It's actually at your computer, at your fingertips. It's about information security. It's about anything that has an IP address. Anything. If it has an IP address, we are the ones that are securing it right now. So, what impact? We're the glue that holds society together right now. Um, the guys that are still fighting on battlefield are still there, but for us, we're 24/7, non-stop. What impact, depending on what company that you work for, we actually, in my own opinion, we're the one that is in between the company's continuity or going into extinction. We are the keeper of the gates right now. So without cybersecurity professionals in all the different flavors that we come in all the different categories that we come in, whether that's GRC, whether those are people um, that are analyzing logs, it doesn't matter. All of us together, collectively, we're the ones that are protecting our companies now. Without us, I'm not sure companies can get far. I give them less than a week before they have to shutter their doors. That's my opinion.
exactly. Thank you so much. And like you said, they are the cybersecurity analysts are like the umbrella,
Yes,
are like the glue.
yes,
They are the one that holds things together security wise, and the one that protects
mhm,
protection, protecting the community. Because there's nothing now that is not even online. Everything's online now, you
yes,
know. So if you can be online, even though if you are not online, if you are on the servers, on your own premises, you still need protection because
absolutely correct.
it might not be the protection for being on cyber, but what of the infrastructure? Is it protected?
Absolutely. The water you drink,
Exactly.
the traffic lights,
The HVAC,
things
everything.
we don't think about.
Physical security is part of cyber security.
They need
Yeah,
us.
exactly. So
Yes,
thank you so much. So breaking the cyber security, like I always tell people, cyber security is not going anywhere. It's here to stay. And anybody that breaking the cyber security is just gonna make their life better. That's it. You cannot compare that to
yes,
anything. So professionals are needed
nothing.
every sphere of the world. And
Yes.
every career, every background are broken to tech with us at MIT University. Like I was telling some people before coming to this meeting, there was a nurse practitioner that broke in just now into cybersecurity. She first of all broke into Scrum, and I told her, don't stay there. She was a nurse practitioner for a top Maryland top hospital. She got burned up with COVID. She broke into Scrum last year, and I said, don't stay there. Now she broke into cybersecurity, and she just called me this morning. Everything went gone straight well for her. That was a good example. A lot of people that were into, let's even look at healthcare. Maybe doctor of pharmacy that broke into 200K, and she has to just book into
Mm-hmm.
everything's like 280,000 here. And and your background too, you are an executive now doing great things in IT and in cybersecurity, and many other people that have interviewed. So I want us to talk about some of the common misconceptions about cybersecurity that novice individual might have. What are some of those that you have seen?
What I've heard a lot from people, the top one I think is, oh, sorry, not code. I don't know how to program. I don't know
Coding.
if I with coding,
Mm.
programming. Uh, just I don't know anything about computers. That's not cybersecurity. I don't know much about hardware. Computer is hardware. That's not our job. Coding, we're not coding anything. Programming, we're not programmers. We analyze. Depending on which part of cybersecurity you find yourself in, you could have to analyze logs. But even with the logs that you're going to analyze, you're using software. You're looking for patterns. You're looking for abnormalities. In the GRC environment, you could be in the governance, in the risk, I am risk area, or you could be in the compliance. This job is about process. So whatever your excuse are, I'm not sure that I can do it. By yourself, you cannot do it. But having a team behind you, at my IT university. When you join my IT university, you're usually into groups. Being part of a group, a smaller group, and then a larger community, so that you're never alone. That's a misconception. Another misconception is I cannot afford it. Nobody is asking you to go and sell your liver or any of your organs. That's not what this is about. It's really about not just changing your life, also making an impact in society as a whole, as we discussed earlier, company that you're going to work for. This is not rocket science. So, whatever your fear, some people are just afraid. I know somebody personal to me, really personal, that's very afraid. And the question I ask every day is, afraid of what? Other people, like Professor Temi said, that are coming from totally different industries are doing it. All of us have some sort of background. So, whatever your misconception is, more than the three that I laid out, I'm afraid, I cannot code, I cannot program, I don't know computers, I don't understand. Somebody said I cannot type. Can you read? Can you pick with one finger? You'll be there longer than I would when I have a. But everything can be learned. And this is one area that stress enough, that you're not working alone. This is not one of those. You're surrounded, supported by an entire team, by people that are going to cheer you on, where you can drop in and ask questions, real time questions. I look in the group every once in a while, see if there's somebody that I can help. Before, one or two people would already have answered the question. So, whatever your misconception is, anything can be learned. In US, most companies are English. So for those that are foreign nationals, in whatever your company is, whatever country you are, whatever their language is, we need you. Cybersecurity needs you. And this is where you can get started.
Thank you very much, Miss Ronnie. And I'm glad that you mentioned international. You mentioned foreign national because US not only supporting your organization right now in the US, but also national, internationally as an executive, which is a great thing. So now that's what I'm trying to tell people. MyITUniversity support not only the US but also internationally because right now we have students that God bring into tech, like you've seen them in Germany, in Australia, in UK, in Canada, in Spain, and everywhere like that. And we help them break in tech, cybersecurity everywhere. And
It
what you will
is.
know is that these frameworks are repeated and repeatedly used all over the world. Like people believe, oh, I don't have any background, I don't have any experience, I don't have any degree, I don't have the money. Don't have can be 1,000 I don't have, which is an
Correct.
excuse. Excuse does not put money in your bank. Excuse does not give you a job. Excuse just put it and throw it in trash because it doesn't help. We need to get started. Start from wherever you are, wherever you do, wherever you can. Start right now and keep moving. That's all you got to do, and you will see that you'll be able to break in. Like Miss Ronnie mentioned, we have programs here, not only coaching but also mentoring. We do mentoring every single
Yes.
Saturday. Yeah, for 2 hours. And Miss Ronnie, she has been a mentor for like uh, many years now. She always come and give back, even hire a lot of people to tech with us. So that's what I'm saying. Over time, that you don't have to have all this misconception. We are a community, we call us the Big Tech Nation, and we are here to support you and guide you, and you will never be thrown out of the program. You don't have to be scared of anything.
No.
You are in a community, you work together, we do it together, we make it happen for you together, and we keep moving. This community has been for 18 years, and
Yes.
we continue to inspire, guide our community to break in. So thank you so much for that. Um, yeah. Are there any people who want to ask what is your day to day like, Miss Ronnie? You are in cybersecurity analyst. What is your job position, your duty, and you can you share with us? What's your exciting project you worked on, and what's your day to day like, and you know, who are you, as in your field?
Okay, so right now I just talked about GRC and I worked in the risk uh, environment area of GRC. So you can call me right, consider me right now a security champion.
Security.
I work a security champion.
Okay.
I champion
Security champion.
security
I like that.
initiatives. So what that means, I work for a global company right now. There's a joke that says that the sun never sets on my company. Somewhere around the world, somebody's working. What that means is that I make recommendations based on the CISO's security initiatives. I sit in between CISOs that comes up with policies, security initiatives. I champion those security initiatives to my business units. My business units are usually business minded. They are more focused about revenue, how much they make, how much we're going to make, how to manufacture. That's what they're focused on. They are not security minded. The CISO's is focused on information security. What I do, I translate security languages, risk languages, recommendation when I take the security initiatives going to businesses is presenting information security in business terms that they can understand. the reason why you need this policy, the reasons, for example, why you need two-factor authentication, the reason why we need geo-blocking. If you're living this and you're going to China, we do not have a presence in China. When any of our assets, your laptop, goes into China, it's okay for you in China. You will not be able to access company. My job is to help business understand the why, the risk behind it. There will be instances when business will push back. My role is to find a win-win. If we need an yes, I have an executive, or I have an employee that needs to go vacation, going home, extended time, whatever it is. We're looking at another business that we want to acquire in a region or a country where we do not have a presence. My job is to understand the risk in alignment with the CISO directive. Help my BU. Rule number one, if you understand IT very well or cybersecurity very well, we do not make money. We don't bring in revenue. We actually spend money. We're a cost center. So those businesses that makes money is to help them to continue to make money, bring in the revenue that pays all of our paycheck. So my job is to help Mr. Business Unit continue their business, but in a safe manner. So my job is to go explain the risk. Is it even worth it to go and purchase that in an area that we're not in? Is it, what are the risks? If an executive that says, no, I am not going to participate in two-factor authentication. Remember, they're business people. They're not you and I, they're not cyber minded. My job is to go in the risk. In some extreme cases, we may need to go file exception. That means exempt me from the policy. The next phase of my statement or my ask is compensating controls. What do we have in place? So every day, whatever the security initiative is, whatever the policy is, sometimes, actually right now we're working on end of life manager support. The easiest one to remember or to, for most of us on the call, is if you have Windows 95. Hopefully nobody on here has Windows 95.
Oh,
Hopefully nobody does. And it's not in our environment. But eventually, the manufacturer will retire a version of either the hardware or the software. Again, your business units are not worried, focused on what manufacturer is supporting an application, what version, not their job. That's my job. My job is to educate them, to say this version is expiring. My job is to honor company policy. The policy says that we cannot be more than 2 years behind. But I need to go explain that to Mr. Business and help them understand the risk. Most companies you're going to work on legacy systems. They've been around for quite some time. There's a lot of legacy systems around, a lot of end of life. So every day job brings to bear all of my back. As I'm listening, I talked about research earlier. Whatever the issue is, I still have to do my research. What is the issue? Understand some background information so that I can go to business, help business understand the risk. Everything I do right now, day to day, doesn't matter what, even when I sit in meetings and folks are talking, The only thing my brain thinks, what is the risk to the organization? What is the risk to business? Sorry, that's long, but that's my day today.
No, 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 it's not long. Thank you so much. We need to hear that because when people talk about cybersecurity, especially the people that are in their beginning stage or new, they think it's coding. Well, everything you've said doesn't have anything to do with coding. So that is why they need to hear these things so that they will know that, oh, I think I can do this. I always tell people if you're a teacher, if you're into customer service relationship, if you even if you're admin, receptionist, you are already if you deal with vendors, you already
Yes,
like risk management or
yes,
governance because you are seeing the overview of the whole thing, even though it's not a niche in
yes,
cybersecurity, but in your own field, you are doing something. You have some skill that you can transfer, even insurance policy. People
yes.
that do with insurance, you already have
Hmm?
these skills. So it's not rocket science. Most
Not
people
at all.
already have some skills that you can use to break into cyber security.
Hmm?
Thank you so much
That's
for that. Another question I want to also ask you is how did my IT university program support your goal to break in back then?
Oh my gosh. I talked about support. I cannot stress that enough. I just cannot. If there's one takeaway for those that are going to be listening, I like that takeaway to be support. You could go anywhere else. When you have a need, if that support is not there, you're going to fail, you're going to fall. And there's nothing that's as terrible as you acing your interview, getting the job, getting the job, and not being able to perform. I cannot count how many times that I have had to reach back to Professor Temi and say, I need help. I don't recollect any time that I have ever messaged her that she has not replied, responded within 2 hours. And I'm looking like this because I'm trying to go back into my memory banks.
And even
That
remember
she
the
has not
scenarios of
responded.
midnight, odd times,
They-
odd hours.
maybe those are the ones that I will up and go. She's responding in the middle of the night.
Right?
I've asked
What's
her one.
going on?
I've actually asked that question. Do you sleep?
Yeah, you say that,
Support
right?
is for me is one thing that stood out the most is how my IT university helped me. As I said, I've had a lot of experience, but then I do different things. But one consistent thing with my IT university with Miss Temi is not only the personal support, it's the hands-on. Whatever topic that the group, the community cannot help you on, cannot with, she's available. If you ask me, I think too available, which is why she's replying in the middle of the night. I'm just saying. I also understand sometimes we're in two different time zones. She's always there. Um, if there's a new release, I just versions a minute ago. You can always go back, so it doesn't matter how many years ago that you've taken the class. Once you become part of the community, it's not a one time and done. No, no. You can keep coming back. Actually, I know a few alumni that keeps coming back. People like me coming back. So it's been the connection, it's been the relationship building. Actually, my IT university also teaches you to build relationships
Yes.
because
Yes.
when you become part of the community, You would notice, I talked about patterns a minute ago, patterns and
Mm-hmm.
abnormalities. You will know the people that keep showing up. So you're never alone. So the connection, the relationship, the response time, it's priceless. I don't think I can put a price tag on
Thank you so much, Miss Ronnie. And you know, that's what I'm saying. If Miss Ronnie broke into tech many, many years ago with us, and we still connect,
it.
and we can see she can still come back, and
Yes.
that's relationship right there. That's networking right there. And a lot of them, she's part of the Big Tech Nation Super Mentors, and there are a lot of them in that community of Big Tech Nation, helping you to break into tech, keep the job, and grow on the job. And that's what we do. And in addition to that, so coaching and our mentoring program is growing bigger and bigger. Like what we're doing, we just started some programs. We've done some mentorship and use cases around banking, university, power company like utility. Right now, the one we are starting right now, mentorship, is supply chain like Walmart. We're doing tech company, SaaS company like Dropbox. We are working with hospitals like healthcare, Melsa Health case study. We're working with manufacturing like Toyota case studies. So these stakeholders are organizations that you're going to be working on in real life. And if you can be part of after the training, the mentorship, the answer like Ms. Ronnie mentioned
Yes.
is key. You're actually doing mentorship for the next 6 to 8 weeks of actually doing the job, actually writing policy, actually meeting stakeholders, discussing what they need, coming back to my university on Saturdays and discussing your three things. What am I doing now? What am I doing did yesterday? And are there any impediment? Discussing your your requirement you are gathering together, or you doing the due diligence and everything. And we don't just look at one framework. We look at RMF, ISO,
Yes.
PCI DSS, third party risk, many frameworks for the price of one. So making sure that when you leave MyITUniversity, you can work with any organization is key. So many people they may want to break into tech, like I mentioned, looking at all this framework, not only like coaching, maybe they're already coached, we can mentor them. Okay, maybe they already know coaching or mentoring, you can start from scratch. We can do one-on-one, we can bring them to the program and be in the classes. And the classes doesn't have to take a lot of time. It's just 2 hours per week per class. That's all. And you're going to be in a group, a study group where you have a cohort with a team leader that you can work together
Mhm.
and actually discuss. So that it's not going to be a lot of work for one person and all that. So
Mhm.
time is running. So we're looking at different framework like these ones that we're going to mentor you into so you can get a job in those framework. Very good. Miss Ronnie, I want to ask you, what are some of the things that you're enjoying in tech right now? What are the benefits of tech? Benefits of tech. That would be a question I want to ask you. What are some of the benefits that you are seeing right now?
I think the first one everybody would want to know is the pay. There are people, lots of people that makes good money out there without benefits. That's not this industry. You not only get the pay, the benefits are phenomenal. Uh, the freedom for me personally, the freedom to know that I can leave one company and go to another company. That's I'm not stuck
The
in
salary
one place.
increase.
The salary,
Yes.
for those of you, and again, I know someone real personal to me who listen to this and go, I know she's talking about me. Yes, I'm talking about you. That is afraid to leave one thing. The salary increases as you move on to the next. I love to learn. The opportunities, these are frameworks displayed here. The ability to go learn a different framework to operate in it. The knowledge that all your professional knowledge, you're just building upon it. Miss Temi spoke earlier about background, whatever industry, it doesn't matter. All of background knowledge that you have is going to come to play when you get into cyber. So those are the benefits that I enjoy, knowing that it is one thing. I am not just a psych nurse. I am not just a room nurse. No. Cybersecurity, you have an opportunity to move from one area to the other. That what other industry does that happen? And when you move, you can go from governance to risk. You can be a threat hunter if that's what you like. Your background, your previous knowledge is not obsolete. You're building upon. So the more years you have behind you, the more exciting it is. People like you, want you. For those that are starting, and I want to give you a real life example. I have interviewed in one of the organizations that I had. We interviewed folks. We did not hire the most qualified. Can I repeat that again? We did
Yes.
not hire the most qualified. We hired the least qualified for two reasons. Number one, she's pliable. I hope that's sinking in your head. That means somebody that we can coach, train to the way we do things here. Does that make sense? She was the least qualified. So for those of you that are worried whether you qualify or not, we don't need your qualification. Opportunities are there. Now, proximity to where she lives. She lives in a city so that there's easy access to the office. The person that was qualified didn't get the job. So as you're starting out on your journey, as you're filling in applications, we have the tendency to screen ourselves out of a job. I'm going to beg you, put in your application and let the company decide.
Very good, Miss Ronnie, because you actually answered the lion's question before I even put it out. So that's why I was like, good. She's in the spirit. Advice given to people that are starting up. Don't say, oh, I'm not qualified, I can't do it. Let the company decide. Once you are trained, you have all the things you need. You're more than qualified to take these jobs, to do it, to break in. And also not to
Can add,
procrastinate. Yes, ma'am.
if you don't mind me stating, uh, everybody's had the expression, can't teach an old dog a new trick. There are lots of company out there that doesn't really like an old dog. They don't want people with my experience. I'm in a different, um, in somewhat of a leadership role. But imagine how many leadership roles do we have in an organization? A few at the top, but a lot of people. So for those people that are, you have more open seats, more open positions. What companies are looking for are people that has enough information, training, enough background that they can train to do things the way that company does it. Each company uses the framework differently. So you guys have the greatest opportunity. I think in one of my recordings I've said, oh, if I hope I never hear anyone that says I'm afraid I can't submit an application because you'll be doing yourself a great disservice. There are companies that are looking for you. Well trained people that have that can do attitude, that presents well, communicate, can listen, the soft skills. We have enough programmers. This is not about programming. We need you to come and help protect your company. So you don't need 5 years experience. You don't need 10 years experience. You don't even need 3 years experience. You need just enough. You need to be able to interview. And then when you get the job, I have my IT university community. As your boss gives you, you have an entire community where you can go back and say, how do I do this? And get responses in record time.
Thank you so much for Miss Ronnie. Yeah, I always tell people don't procrastinate. Don't think that you cannot have, they will train you. You're talking
Yes.
about somebody that has a growth mindset, but not a fixed mindset. So some people, they just already wrote
Mhm.
themselves up. But if you have a growth mindset, you get started and continue to grow in your mindset. We need to have a growth mindset, but not a fixed zero
Correct.
mindset, fixed
Correct.
mindset. That's what we're saying. Thank you so very much, Ms. Ronnie, for that. And the last question will be: is there anything that we have not said that you want to say? Any advice for somebody considering cybersecurity, and one advice you have for them that we have not mentioned that you want to?
What are you waiting for? Most of us, if you actually step back in your own life, as I look at my own life, first is an island. There are people that are connected to us. There are people that are depending on you, relying on you. There are future cybersecurity professionals that need you to get started so that when they start, you can mentor them. There are destinies that are connected to you. You can change your own life, you can change somebody else's life. There has never been an opportunity that I know of that if you put effort, as a matter of fact, I'm going to ask you to start to apply for jobs before you finish the program. I'd say once you're 75% into the program, I'd say start to apply. I don't know too many opportunities or too many careers out there that you could do that.
Yes,
So back to my original statement. What are you waiting for?
that's right. So what are you waiting for is the last word that Miss Romney wants to leave out there. If you want to break into tech, what are you waiting for? Take a step. I always tell people a step of 1,000 years starts with a day. If you don't take a step, you cannot move forward. And I always tell
Correct.
people you must have what? You must have your dream.
Yes.
Then you will have what? Your goal and
Hmm.
have a strategy.
Yes.
So having a dream, a goal, and a strategy gets you into
Hmm.
tech. So you already
Correct.
have the dream to break into tech. What's your goal? Set it. Short term, long term goal. Use those goals, come get started in class, and then we set up a strategy for you. That is it, and then you break in. Without those, you cannot break into tech. It's not, you can't just do it. You need our community, you need guide, you need a help to break in. And we're here to help you hack your career. So it doesn't matter your background, you can break into tech. Keep the job and grow on the job. So thank you so much, Miss Ronnie, for your time today, for coming. As usual, you're always supportive of our community, one of our super mentor. We appreciate your time, and we pray that the Lord continue to bless you, and you know more and more blessings, on you. Thank you so very much, and I'm sure many people have been inspired by Miss Ronnie and what she's doing today, and that they also can do great things in tech.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
it scared, she said. Do it afraid.
Yes.
Just do it.
Yes.
Just do it
Yes.
and let the company decide. Don't kill yourself and don't shoot yourself before you die. You're not gonna die. Don't shoot yourself in the foot and say, I'm not gonna submit
Hmm.
any application. I'm scared. You already want to kill yourself, right? But these people are they really want you, they love you, they really want to teach you. But when you don't apply, you're gonna get a job. Right. So
Hmm.
do it afraid and just do it. We are here to guide you. Thank you so much, Miss Ronnie. God bless you. And thank you all, everybody, for joining us today. I'm sure you've enjoyed the program. Please leave a note, for Miss Ronnie, and I'll pass it across. If you have any question, ask, and we will answer your question. Thank you so much. Feel free to send, reach out to us, MyITUniversity University, schedule a call, or just send me a text. My number is scrolling down there, and I will help you, even in the midnight hours.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you, Miss Ronnie. May God
Thank
bless you
you.
all.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, ma'am.